Hey, it's Colin Sweets. Happy holidays, everyone. I've finished my internship now, and I find myself without anything valuable to do. This might end up being a tribute to that, but I thought it might be nice to send out an audio Christmas card. First of all, I want to thank those of you who have been indulging me on the internet responding to my self-involved inquiries about Christmas and what's been missing from it today. Those of you who are unique enough to have an original opinion, well, congratulations on that. I'm definitely one of those people who lets himself get too submerged in the magic of the movies, and then feels horrible when life tries its best to prove to me that things aren't going to work out that way. In the end, if I get the girl, there won't be a perfectly fitting pop song to take us to the credits. And if I do get the girl, hopefully that isn't the end, because then the whole process will have been in vain. This whole process is in vain anyway, though, because this isn't real life. A song is about to begin playing right now. What I'm getting at is that my philosophy of disappointment causes grave dissatisfaction with Christmas every single year. We almost never have snow, gift buying really is stressful, and we have that constant reminder that the celebration of Christmas as we know it may very well be a commercial ploy. And all of this suppresses my November expectations that the following month will treat me with Dickensian British magic, candied pies, and little kids saying extra, extra. My real grown-up Christmas wish is that all of you can enjoy the beauty of the season despite all of the following reasons to feel bleak about it. At some point, we're all going to have artificial Christmas trees. Most of you do already, and the day my parents suggest we get one too will be the day that you'll be able to find everything I've bought for them that year floating in the Halifax Harbor. Nevertheless, the inevitable nostalgia will be, kids, when your grandpa was your age, we actually had to go to a lot and buy a real tree and put it up in our house for 3 weeks. Wow. And really, will that be the end of the world? They're a pain in the neck to take care of anyway, and you spend the whole holiday trying to find a way to look at it so it appears less dead. All Christmas trees are dead. They've been chopped down. Now, as for the origin, 2,000 years ago or not, there's no such thing as the Star of Bethlehem. It was a comet. It may have been Ursa Major in the northern sky, but there's no way to find that out for sure. Nowhere in the Bible does it say there were 3 wise men. The song made that up. And there was no camel. I know there's a cultural variance between now and then, but I wouldn't say they traveled from afar. It was 6 miles. Jesus Christ. Sweet little guy, I'm sure, but the Gospels say he was born during the reign of Herod the Great. That's part of the story. We all know that, but Herod died in 4 BC. So was Christ born before Christ? Perhaps. What I've just learned is that the Immaculate Conception has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus. In describing Mary, the original Hebrew text of Isaiah uses the word Alma, which means a woman of marriable age, not the word Bethala, which means virgin. Jesus also couldn't have been born in December because the description in Luke of the Shepherd puts it in spring or fall. And to make all of these pressing issues even more obviously questionable, look at our portrayal of Jesus. Born in North Africa, for some reason, he looks like Barry Gibb. But all of that's political nonsense anyway, and it's admittedly not why we celebrate Christmas. As for Santa Claus, though, could the myth they came up with have been any more messed up, or was that as demented as they could go? Little kids write him letters, so he comes to visit them in the middle of the night. And it's been happening for years. It took me an embarrassingly large number of Christmases to figure out what was actually happening in I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Still not caught up? Well, Daddy is Santa Claus. And I must say, I find that to be a relatively risky thing to make a child song about, but as I said, the meaning escaped me for years. I just thought it was a perverted song about mom being a gift groupie. What's happening? And the most confusing part of the song is the line, "What a laugh it would have been if Daddy had only seen Mommy kissing Santa Claus last night." So this guy finds it funny. Mom's cheating on Dad, Santa turns out to be kinda horny, and this kid gets a kick out of it. But don't get me started on Christmas songs. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Come on. In actual fact, the image of Santa Claus as we know it was originally created in 1931 by a cartoonist named Hayden Sunbloom, who'd been commissioned to do a portrait of Sinterklaas by the Coca-Cola Company. However, it mostly draws from what's being described by Clement Moore in 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and that was over 100 years before Coca-Claus. You might want to check your copy of the poem, though, because you probably have one of the Americanized versions that draws its research from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which was written by a guy named Johnny Marks for the Montgomery War. And he got the names wrong. It's not Donner, it's Dunder. And it's not Blitzen, it's Blixen. I've got a couple of numbers I'm going to throw at you, and these are just rough figures, but if Santa Claus were real, based on the number of homes with children he'd have to travel to and counting for the average weight of 2 presents per child, Santa would need a sleigh that weighs 321,000 pounds, pulled by 214,200 reindeer, all traveling at 3,000 times the speed of sound. Oh, and they have to be flying. But seriously, Merry Christmas. Somehow, beyond the point where all the important parts of me grew up, I'm able to get past the cynicism of an average day and feel like there's something unexplainably special about the holidays. I don't know if it's memories or if it's hope, but I think to me, Christmas is about looking back at the year you're wrapping up, so to speak, and whether it was good or bad, begging the universe that it gives you another year that's going to be better than anyone before it. We never ambivalise Christmas because we know it's going to be the last one we get to spend together, or because at some point we know Christmas has to be about our kids more than ourselves, and we don't choose to give it up. Christmas is with us when we want it to be, and it helps us to do magical things. Things we wouldn't have done without Christmas's encouragement, so who cares where Christmas came from? We don't worry about where it's going because it's always coming back. And if nothing else, you've had one person put a smile on your face because they have Christmas with them. Do that for somebody. Make someone else's Christmas merry, and you'll be Santa Claus for a minute. I love you. I'm thankful that you love me. For whatever reason you see fit, please, have the most wonderful Christmas ever.